Lisa, you have a guest in studio to give us some information.
I do. I have Elena Villafana Sylvester with me in studio, and we also on standby for Vijay Gangapasad, who is the Director of Social Welfare and Head of the Disaster Team at the Ministry. And but in the meantime, Elena, thank you so much for coming in. I know it's been a challenging weekend for the members of F.E.E.L. We want to thank you for the work that you are doing out there in the vineyards. Tell us what it was like over the weekend.
Well, over the weekend, we concentrated on doing two things. One is outfitting the disaster relief centers so that people could be made as comfortable as possible. And the second thing we concentrated on doing was providing meals for the persons in the centers. So really working very closely with the regional corporations to ensure that the centers had some level of supplies that they were immediately able to make available to individuals at the centers.
Yeah, and we're seeing some of the materials and supplies that were provided. Would you say that you had an overwhelming response from the national community?
Well, actually, I'm glad that you asked that, because F.E.E.L actually started to prepare for this disaster in December last year. So what we did was we actually, based on all the donations that we received from individuals throughout the year, ourselves, we prepared a disaster supply. And what you found is that from as early as June this year, we started to outfit the regional corporations with disaster supplies. So each corporation,
this was in anticipation
of any disaster that would happen.
Yes.
So regional corporations were provided with over 100 disaster blankets. It's a thick blanket that persons could spread on the ground, and you could also use to cover yourself. So it's made out of it's not made out of your normal kind of cotton or linen material. We provided them with canned food stuff that they could have ready for supply. In the Chinapuna Corporation in particular, they also got body wipes, a tower of body wipes, so that should we have the situation where persons are unable to bathe, it's like a large damp cloth towel, similar to what you would use for babies, but for adults. So they had that immediately at their disposal. So by the time we went into our first area of relief was for the people of Matlot. And on Friday, we were able to send a truckload of supplies, including cots and foodstuff, 100-pound bags of rice, beans, and clean clothing, brand new clothing, because we had stocked up those items. So we were able to provide a truckload of those supplies that went into the Sandy Grande area for the people of Matlot. They went into shelters from as early as Friday. By Saturday, we were able to supply 3 truckloads of supplies to the Arima Corporation, to the Chinapuna Regional Corporation, and to the Sandy Grande Corporation. And those truckloads of supplies, so you asked about the support of the national community. So in addition to our stock, we had Corporate Trinidad came on board immediately. So Republic Bank immediately gave us 1,000 cases of water on Saturday. So those things actually left the F.E.E.L warehouse by 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and supplies went to those corporations to go directly to the relief centers.
Because of course, on Saturday, I believe the Minister of National Security said that if people wanted to give, the corporations would have been the coordinating point, sort of the base for the various.
Exactly.
So F.E.E.L would take it from your warehouse and channel it to the various corporations.
Yes, we did. So that is our immediate first response, because you want to outfit people in, I forgot to say toilet paper as well, because that's also an important item. So we immediately sent those supplies in. By Saturday night, of course, then we had the problem of feeding the persons who were actually in the centers. And again, Corporate Trinidad and Tobago stepped in. We worked with Boomerang Caterers and Republic Bank to provide 1,000 meals. Then on Sunday, we worked with El Pecos and Mario's Pizza, and together we were able to collaborate and provide 2,000 meals to persons in the relief centers. Now, I myself was on the ground at the Sandy Grande Civic Center. In the morning, on Sunday morning, we were told that we would provide relief for 200 families that had been located there. By the time we got there on Sunday afternoon, there were 700 families there. So we're talking about the numbers changing continuously. We're talking about the fact that, this is going to be an ongoing development.
Do you know how long people would be in shelters? For how long?
Well, we're hopeful that we'll be able to move to the next phase of relief, which should start from today, which is to help people get back into their homes and begin that cleaning process.
Some homes are still underwater.
Some homes are still underwater. So we, again, will work with the corporations. We will get the numbers. We actually had teams, staff members, volunteers from the community, from Republic Bank, field staff on the ground going out to the different areas that we provided foodstuff to.
Yes.
And Kelly Village, to Warren, to the La Hawketa Regional Complex, to the Aruka Community Center. And we got support from, I didn't mention Massey as well, also provided 100 meals. So we actually had people on the ground going out to those centers. And there we can meet with the disaster coordinator, get the up-to-date numbers so that we could come back and we could say, okay, this is our plan now from today, and how many people do we need to provide for from today? So we're talking about not only a situation of needing to provide hampers, but needing to provide cooked meals for persons. I mean, we're talking breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Because I've been in communities and I saw people on trucks passing around, handing out toilet paper, handing out water, and cooked meals in boxes. Would those have come from F.E.E.L necessarily, or is this just the national community?
I think it's both. I think it's both the national community and what F.E.E.L would have given us supplies. But remember that we didn't do it without the help of the national community.
Right.
So the donations that people have given us over the year, so all that constant supply of donations that we get from corporate Trinidad and Tobago and from individuals, that is what we are able to use to support our efforts. So we do not have to wait, and it's all about planning. So we know that the rainy season is a tough time for Trinidad.
Yes.
So we immediately began our planning sessions, and that is why F.E.E.L can be so responsive, and it's because of the support that the Secretary continues to give us.
But I continue to thank you. I know we're going to start a regular segment with you, so we're going to hear all about your pre-planning and preparation. We have to go to a break just to tell me yes or no. Persons from the international community, they can send barrels of items to F.E.E.L, and you would be able to disperse it or no?
Not directly. We're still coordinating how that will receive, because we also need to be careful in terms of ensuring the source of the donations. But persons can call me at F.E.E.L. They can call us at 624-7758 or email us at feeltrinidadandtobago@gmail.com. We will coordinate that type of relief response. But of course,
you have to do all the checks and balances. Yes, of course. I do understand.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Elena Villafana-Sylvester, CEO of F.E.E.L, who will be with us on a regular basis from next week, Wednesday, talking about NGO support in the community. If you are interested, if you're looking on via Facebook, and I know a number of you internationally reached out to us over the weekend, the number to call 624-7758, that's 1868 before, or you can email feeltnt@gmail, feeltrinidadandtobago@gmail.com. Thank you so much again. We'll be back after this for remaining moments on the show.